It's been a long time since I've felt this good. And last
How
night,
great. Can we just stop there for a minute
yeah.
and celebrate a moment in our life where we feel good? Well, welcome, friend. Pretty excited to have Andy here today. We're going to tell a bit of a story. Well, he's going to tell a bit of a story about his interaction with painting, with his journey in life. It's been a remarkable story. I had a few tears before as we started to talk about it, so I'm looking forward to hearing looking forward to you guys hearing the inspiration that it is. It's been to me, to others, and the inspiration it'll hopefully, I know it will be to you too. So let's get on and hear a bit of the story. So, hi Andy.
G'day, hello.
Hi, good to have you here. This room has been a big part of your life over the last few years. How long's it been?
Late 2019, I came in here.
Wow.
All inspired.
COVID time.
Wow. Stuck in a few months before that hit.
Yeah. So why I wanted to bring Andy here and to interview him today was to, like a lot of my passion is to help people find themselves, their creative story through painting. Andy's actually started now doing coaching. We'll hear a bit more about it, but learning to be a life coach too. And so the incredible journey, we want to tell the incredible journey from when he first started, walked into the gallery here to this moment, because it's quite a remarkable story. And I was reflecting on when I first, I hadn't really told Andy this, but when he first walked into this building, it was quite funny. He walked in and he was this big guy, had his work gear on, and I'm like, uh-oh, who's coming in the door? And he came to the desk and he's like, saw your sign, teach me to paint. Where do I go? Sort of thing. I'm like, okay. I'm like, a little bit intimidated. But, and then I could very quickly see that he was genuinely really looking forward a place to paint. But you tell more of the story, from your side, of how that all came about.
Yeah, firstly, it's nice to be here. I wanted to, this place has changed my life so much. I just wanted to state that first, I wanted to say it. I wanted to let everyone know what it's done to me personally, and if you can get a little bit of that somewhere from some place, it can be life changing, and it has just changed the direction of my life. I'm not saying that my life was pitiable beforehand. I'm just saying that it's grown so much because of this experience. But I was following some impulses at the time, and I was driving through the Dandenongs quite a lot. I don't know what for, but I found a lot of peace up here, and I was following an impulse, and I wanted to put some colour into my my artwork. I've done a lot of artwork in the past, and it's just been in pencil and grey lead.
Yeah.
And I was I could draw whatever I wanted, whatever I looked at or whatever I thought I could draw it, and there was sort of to use that analogy we used before, the chewing gum, it lost its flavour as far as that, and I wanted to put some colour into my paintings, and I just went past a sign as I was driving up the hill, and it said, learn how to paint. This is a sign on the side of the road, literally 2 kilometres up the road. So I drove up the road, and I came in the doors here, and said, Heather came around and said, can I help you? And I'm going, yeah, who's going to teach me how to paint? And it sort of started from there.
So when you came into the gallery, you had already been drawing for quite some time, and you were looking for some place to paint, and I'm like, yes, come on in. So what did we do then? Tell us.
Well, you'd asked me, what do I want to paint? And I was looking around, and I wanted to paint everything, and like I want to draw everything, and I wanted to paint everything. So I said, I just want to paint everything. And you said, well, come out the back, I'm going to show you where I teach my students. And we came out the back into the studio here, and it's become a second home for me. It's a place if I've got some spare time, I'll come up here and just paint and talk to people and inspire them actually into painting. And I just love doing that, just getting other people to paint too. but I'd get a lot out of it. But you brought me out into the studio here, and I saw the easels, and they were sort of there was no paintings on them, but it was such a nice environment, a nice room, and I think
nice.
everyone has gets the same sort of vibe when they walk in the door. Everyone says, "Oh, this is a nice place," and it is. Very welcoming, and a lot of learning, a lot of creation goes on in here, and I think it lingers. But when you walk in, and there was only one painting on one of the easels at the back of the room, and it was of a leopard's head, and I was quite. I went, what's that? And she goes, "Oh, it's one of my students. He's just doing one of these paintings." I said, "Well, that's pretty good." And he said, "Anyway, what would you like to paint?" And I just done this drawing of the tea house at the 1,000 Steps, and I just brought that out and I said, "I'd like to paint this." And she goes, "Well, the guy that's done that painting of the leopard head, he owns the cafe at the bottom
That you were drawing.
That I was drawing at the bottom of the 1,000 Steps."
Yeah.
And I thought, well, hello, I'm in the right spot,
Yeah.
And so I signed up for a class straight away, a beginner's class. Yeah.
So you felt like, okay, I can't not watch what's going on here. Something's directing me in this direction. There's a lot of that.
There are some times, and I think you've got to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
You cannot not do it.
Yeah. So that was I just have to do this now.
Yeah.
So you came and did a little piece that I get to do, everyone to do.
Yeah.
I love hearing this part of the story because a lot of people and a lot of you can actually learn to do this online, by the way. There's a link down below. There'll be a course that you can do. That Andy, and I think I've taught probably hundreds now of people. It'd be quite a few. But describe it. I love this little activity.
Oh, yeah, it's... I didn't know what I was up for. I'd had a crack at doing some painting in the past, and I went to a teacher that someone else, a friend of mine, had recommended, and I went along there, and the instructions that I was asking, can you show me how I want to paint? I want to put some colour, and the teacher said, well, yeah, fine, but I want to teach you to paint in black and white first, And straight away I've gone, that's just not what I was after.
Yeah.
And I was, I didn't last very long.
Yeah.
So I'd come in here and I didn't know what to expect. But when I sat down and there's this water drop on a leaf, and I thought, wow, that looks fantastic, the water drop on the leaf. How am I ever going to produce that? This is a bit out of I've got 2 hours to do it, Well, after 2 hours, Heather held this painting that up in front of the class, and everyone's going, "Oh, that's fantastic!" And I was humming and hawing a little bit, and Heather realised that you'd realised that I needed to attend to it a bit more, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
I put a bit more of my details, and then all of a sudden, I looked at it again, and I went, "Wow, that's awesome!" And the light bulb came on.
Yeah.
I've just gone, look what I've just created. This is exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I've just made this thing look real. That's unbelievable. I took a photo of it, and I'm driving down the hill, and I started sending it to anyone that would take my picture, and say, look what I've just done, and it was pretty cool, and it looks good. And then the phone rang, and it was Heather, and she's going, "Andy, you've left your painting here." And I said, "Don't worry, I'll be back."
Yeah.
That's how it started.
Yeah, and you were back.
Yeah.
And like I do with every student, I say, what do you want to paint? But, often people will say, "Oh, how about this? It's an easy picture." I don't think you did that though. But you decided to do something quite amazing.
Well, in my world, it's different to everybody's.
Yeah.
Everyone's world's
Your brain
different.
or
My brain's a little bit different.
Yeah, we all have craziness.
I've done a few things over my time, but one of the things that sort of stuck with me, if your coach says, tie up your shoelace a little bit tighter, your right one a little bit tighter than the left one, that's what you do.
Okay.
So, if someone says to me, you want to, stretch yourself a little bit, okay, I'll stretch myself. Pick something that you don't think you'll be able to do. Okay, I'll pick something that I won't be able to do.
Yeah.
And that's the way that I've done. But you listen to your teacher, and I can remember getting asked in one of the classes that I was attending, "Andy, how do you draw this bit of water?" This is from another student.
Yeah.
And I went, "You ask Heather. That's what you do."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
That's how you do it. Yeah. Okay, I get you.
Ask the teacher.
Yeah, you
And
trust the teacher.
Actually, we've had a bit of fun
We have.
over the years too about this. People want to know how to paint water. Well, you don't actually. There's no water paint that you buy water paint.
Yeah, it's like, can you buy special paint water and put it on?
I want some silver as well, you know, or something, some reflecting paint, you know, sparkles, and it's not like that at all.
No.
But I've gone from this painting of this water drop, which I still have, and it's still one of my favourite paintings actually. When I look at it, I think, I did that, and it's gone from that, and I've chosen this. I thought was way out of reach painting.
Can I just say something there, so that because people won't know a little bit more of that history, the way I teach is that you sort of touched on it. Was my thing is, if you need to be stretched straight away, because a lot of people will go, oh, I'll just do a little one to start with and I'll learn the technique, like your first teacher said, you know, got to just do the tones and then we'll do this and then we'll do this. By the time you get sick of it, like you left that first class. My thing is, the second painting you do, your little water, the second painting you do is the one that you've always dreamed of doing. Like, and I always say, it's got to scare the heck out of you. Like, you got to feel that, like, trepidation and nervousness, like, I cannot do this. And and it's not just with painting, when we do things that we didn't think we could do and we achieved it, like you think of the Olympians and all that sort of stuff, like the incredible, amazing feeling and the boost that you get to your self-worth and your, you know, just feeling good about yourself. And that's what I'm all about here, and with the painting, is to helping people find that space where they feel calm and they feel relaxed, they feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to explain that, so that, you know, so you were at that point where, like, okay, I'm going to go and find something that's out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. I was a little bit, I suppose, a little bit personally. I was looking for things. I had to change the way I was going about my life, actually. I had to start changing things. I was sitting there thinking, I've got to start feeling better. You know, I've got to find things that make me feel better.
You've been through a lot, eh?
Yeah. Had a bit of a rough trot, and I don't want to go back and visit that thing, and, you know, because most of us have some sort of trauma. I'm not going to go back there and spend too much time there. But I can use it as a base from where I've come from. So it's a pretty low platform, and I just was looking for things to feel better, and that got me to the painting. And now, if you ask me at any time, how are you feeling? Or g'day, how you going? You know, the Australian, how you going? I'm going pretty bloody good. That's my answer. And it's like everyone will say, oh, wow, what are you doing? You know, well, it's been a process of building up. And the painting has been so instrumental in doing that and giving me back my confidence in myself, the admiration that I like to get from people, that sort of thing all the way through. You know, so it's really allowed me to really expand. I don't know if that's the right word, but every single part of it has just been a little bit of an unveiling and growing. And when I see the classes now, because I come to every class, and even if I'm not even supposed to be in the class, I'll let Heather go, is there room in the class today? You know, and it's like, always. I still ask, you know, I don't want to sort of crowd the class out, but I just squeeze in somewhere, and whether I'm taking part in the class or not, I'm in the class and enjoying the whole experience, and I'll get around and talk to everyone about their paintings, because this is the bit, this is the juice of it. I like hearing everyone's story about their painting, their little doubts, their fears, I'm not doing this right, and all that sort of stuff. I says, yes, that's what we want. That's the flavour in the chewing gum. And when you see people come in, students come in, doesn't matter who they are, I don't care what the result is, so much as the doing of it. You know, that's the thing that I like seeing, and we'll talk to them about that. It's like little. We've talked about this too. Like, it's like these little closed buds. And then they just sort of they just pop open. You see them pop open. You go, wow, and you see them just around the classroom just pop open, and that's why I come to the classes, to see that happen.
I know. You're the advocator. Is that the right word now? The converter. But back, you get so excited. I love it. So let's go back to your first painting. What did you decide to paint?
Look, I wouldn't do it again. I tell you, I wouldn't do that again.
Why is that?
It took a long time, and we had a break in the middle there, and it sat in the corner.
COVID.
It sat in the corner of that my house for a year or so, and during that time, it was there was I think a lot of creative people felt the same thing. There was not a lot going on.
Yeah.
You know, there was no energy or something. I don't know what it was.
It's
It was
hard to get going.
It was
with
hard to
survival.
get going. It was pretty flat.
Yeah, yeah.
So when the place opened up again, I might have been the first one through the door.
Let me in.
Let me in. And so I picked an image, and it was my canvas was a big canvas. I did a big canvas, and it was really intricate.
Yeah.
And really intricate. Now it took me about a year and a half to actually paint and actually finish it. That was my first painting, and from the start of it to I can still see it now in the corner of my eye. The start of it to the bottom of it there, I had it done in squares, and each square was taking 4 hours or whatever like that. Sometimes I'd rub out bits of it and start again and all that sort of stuff. But I wanted to get it right. Graham was there. He's going, "Are you ever going to finish that thing?" You know, he was quite funny because he was churning out paintings. But looking back on it, the best thing. Yeah. The best thing, because after that, the paintings just seemed to fall out of the brush now. Yeah. But that one was like I don't want to say I was forcing it out, but you go on now. It started to flow. But, I just loved every moment of it, and it's not the painting that I've loved; it's the doing of it. You know? Yeah. Everyone's going, "When are you going to finish it?" And I go, "Well, when it finishes." Yeah. Because I'm just happy when I'm painting.
It's a hard journey, the first one, because you're learning, how to use the brushes. You'd never really done on the colours and the oils, because we use oils, and then dealing with yourself, like, am I doing this right, and the doubt, and like rubbing it off and putting it back on, and when you say you'd never do it again, you're glad that you've done it. That's what I'm sort of getting to. That's like everyone will go through this, not everyone will choose a most complicated piece as complicated as yours. I kind of recommend that you do. Because of what it did for me. And you went on a huge journey through that.
And it started to, in the end, it started to flow. And I got asked a lot, how long does this take? How long does this take? How long does this take? And I'm going. One lady came in one time, and I was painting this painting. She goes, "How long does that take?" And then she stopped, and she goes, "It doesn't really matter, does it?" And I went, "No, it doesn't matter, because if you're enjoying something, you want it to last longer." So I didn't want to finish it. And this painting, it's an epic sort of a painting, and not only that is the enjoyment of it all the way that you're doing it. You don't want to stop the enjoyment of that. No. So of course you want it to last as long. Do you need patience for it? No, you don't, because if you're doing something that you love,
that's a good point.
You don't need patience. You want it to last. If you're doing something you
don't think about patience, do you?
No, if there's something that you don't want to do, like sometimes if you're not enjoying your work, you need a bit of patience for that. I think that's sort of how it works.
It's interesting, because I often say that's. Thank you for that perspective, because I'm like that you do need patience, but that's the next level in terms of. You've got to just want to do it. It's interesting.
Let's have a look at it. It's like, and I think when you come in here, one of the main things that I think is a bit of resistance is that time factor. With a lot of the students, and I'm classing myself as a student, and all I'm doing each time I'm painting is I'm practicing. In my past life, I was a golf professional, and each time I was out there playing, even if it was a tournament or something like that, I was practicing. So you're just practicing.
You're learning all the time.
All the time, and painting's the same thing. So wherever you are, you've started, and it's just getting started. And then you start doing the panel beating after that, and it's all about yourself. And the thing is, it's so good to do.
So you did this incredible painting, and people will have seen it by now. I will have put it up on the screen. Pretty crazy, hey? All along this, and I love that you said, to start with, you said you wouldn't do it again, but you're glad you did it. I've heard this thing, right? Sorry, I'm getting on a tangent, but I will come back. That when you've gone through trauma, if you were asked the question, if you could eliminate that trauma out of your life and you would eliminate everything that happened after that, would you do it? And 99.9% of people say no, because the trauma, the challenges, and this is the point about doing something that's hard when you're first starting, going through those challenges, you learn so much.
It's where the growth is.
Yeah, it's where the growth is. So tell me a bit more about what you learned during that first painting.
Well, what we were talking about earlier on, safety. If you want to stay nice and safe, as opposed to just taking yourself a little bit further, we know that's where all the growth is.
Yeah.
All the growth is on the outside of the coral reef. It's not in the safe bit.
Yeah.
But the growth is where all the churning and the action and all that sort. That's where the growth is.
Yeah, yeah.
You asked me, would you want to go into the student exhibition?
Yeah.
I'm flat out, no, it's not.
Oh, yeah, that's right. No, that's not me.
No, it's not. No, I'm just here to paint this. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Andy in the hermit crab shell over there.
Yeah.
And then, a couple of weeks later, we'll just put it up there. I went, yeah, okay.
I think I might even put it up without you knowing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm putting it in. I don't care.
Yeah, and then you got to go through that whole thing of everyone's going to criticise me. Should it be there? Is it good enough? I actually asked, is this good enough to go in there?
Oh my goodness.
Is this good enough to go into the exhibition? Because in my head, I'm thinking this is, and I got the old. Oh,
hello.
Yeah, hello. Are you
Is
kidding?
it good enough?
Yeah, you're kidding. And I didn't realise this. That was something I was learning too. Was learning that I could cop a compliment maybe every now and then.
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel like I was that sort of a person. And then
high standard, a bit of a perfection. Like a lot of us are. So that's why I don't mind saying this. But I think you had this high expectation that it was going to be better even. Or
I didn't want to have any criticism.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. You didn't want criticism.
Yeah, I didn't want criticism. I don't like being told I'm not very good at anything.
No. Yeah.
And so I
don't think any of us do.
Yeah. This is just me. I don't want to be up for criticism.
Yep. So you're like, no painting.
Yeah, and being vulnerable here, I'm not good enough. It's not good enough.
Yeah.
And that's how many of us are in that sort of space, we're not good enough for whatever we do. So I want to make sure that what I'm doing doesn't get to the point where someone's going to criticise it. Yeah. So it's going to be better than anyone else. That's the sort of thing,
Get it? That's helpful.
So put it up on a wall for people to look at. No way, So, but it ended up out there, and it was the feedback was all right. And then it's the feedback that I'm starting to doubt that too, because it's like, are they just saying that?
it?
You know what you do to encourage your kids?
Yeah.
Keep going, little Johnny.
You can do it.
Yeah, keep going, mate. You'll be all right. You give it another go. That looks good. So that sort of thing. And eventually, got through the brick wall. And then, there's open studios with all the other artists coming in. Would you like to go into that? I'd done a few paintings by then. I'm going, no way. No,
I remember that.
Why are you asking me? You're the star. And then there was Karen, and then there's another lady, Jill, and they're the artists. I'm a student out the back there, just doing a bit of painting, So I did. I went on that one there, and that was an amazing thing because they had all these people coming, all these other artists and stuff coming in. And
you were a real artist then.
I was a real artist all of a sudden, and I was sort of hiding out the back in the studio, but they're coming out, and everyone was talking to me, and other artists were talking to me, and then I got interviewed about my work and everything. I'm thinking, what's going on? Is this a trick? That sort of thing. Still have little doubts. Yeah. So once that had finished, Heather goes, I'm just going to leave your stuff out there in the gallery. I'm going, well, I'm in the gallery? My art in the gallery? And that's what happened. You left it out in the gallery.
Well, I remember you say something, I can't remember saying it myself, but you said that I said something like, well, why are they at home? What are you going to do with your work?
Yeah.
What was that?
You're going to put it out in the gallery? I'm going, no. And she goes, well, what's the use of it being on your phone?
You're going to have it on your phone, you're going to stick them at home behind your bed, and no one's going to see your work.
Yeah, what's the point of that? So, because I do the painting, and that's the end of it, so... who's going to see that? That's it.
Yeah, so we wanted to see it. And I wanted people to see what's possible too, That's the thing. And again, that's why we're doing this video, to see what's possible for you. That first painting, tell us about where it is now.
Well, it's quite a big painting. It was hanging on above the fireplace in there, and I look at it now and I'm thinking, is that, I could do that a bit better maybe, I'd like to do that again, but I'm not going to. But Heather rang up and said, there's a lady here that wants to buy your painting. And I'm going, no, it's not happening, But
you were almost saying no, you don't want to sell it.
Yeah, I don't want to sell it. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it's my first painting.
I have to think about it. That's right.
Yeah, I have to think about it. And I put a sort of figure on it that I thought, no one's going to pay that for one of my paintings. It was multiple thousands of dollars actually. Yeah. And this lady gets on the phone and she says, "Oh, Andy, I'm so and so, and I'm going to buy your painting, and tell me where's this from." And I told her that it's from a place in England, in Middleton. And she goes, "Oh, my last name's Middleton." And she goes, "What's it called?" And I says, "It's called Downstream. It's called Downstream, this painting." And she goes, "Well, I'm going through a bit of a hard time. I just want to go with the flow." So now she's got this painting, and she sent me a photo of it. It's in her home. It's got pride of place in her home, and she set up the room around the painting. And it looks fantastic. Yeah. And then she came out and see me, and we spent a bit of time together. And what a fantastic sort of a lady, and that was a big buzz. Yeah, that was a really big buzz.
Incredible.
Yeah, incredible.
You were quite surprised that someone would actually want to buy your painting.
Yeah. So all the way along, I've been investing a lot of my enjoyment and everything. I'm getting a lot from. I'm getting more from it than I could ever imagine. But all along, it's just been these layers just coming up and up and up and up and up, and it's all of them have been just like a little bit of a step. And this is what I probably enjoyed about the coaching side of things. Yeah, I haven't gone from. Just walking off the street and then I'm selling a painting. Yeah. And then in the galleries.
Takes time.
And otherwise I wouldn't have come in the door.
No.
No. So I've gone from I'll just learn this, and then you've just gone, I'll just do this a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, we'll just add to this a little bit more. Yeah. So I'm going to use one of my own little analogies. It's like if you want to get in, a frog wants to get into the sunshine on the other side of a pond, and it's in the shade. Yeah. It can't leap across the pond into the sunshine in one leap, but it can go from lily pad to lily pad to lily pad, and as it's slowly getting more and more into the light, and that's the sort of an analogy, just building a little bit.
Nice. What I thought might be good to ask you a little bit about is what have you noticed change about yourself? Because I'm big on, I run other courses, the Artist Way, and courses on things that are about changing, not just learning a skill and changing your skills, but changing your life almost. Yeah, your life. So what has changed for you over this time?
Oh, it's been, I don't know whether I don't want to understate it. It's been quite profound. It's as far as if we're here to be happy, if we're here to have fun, if we're here to enjoy ourselves, and this is what it's done. It's gone from a place where, like I said, it was a pretty low base. And then through the experience of painting and creating and finding something that I like, and then socialising with other people, seeing them progress, and then getting enjoyment from that, from seeing other people with their painting, and seeing them improve and seeing them blossom. I'm getting enjoyment from that, and I get a lot of juice out of that, and seeing that happen, and being able to inspire people just by my own passion about taking the classes and the painting. Just doing that itself has just opened up a whole new desire in me as far as I want to help and see. I want to inspire other people. I just want to give them some of that flavour that I'm getting, and that I've got from painting, whether it's in any endeavour. So it's that the attitude of turning. I've turned the boat around, and it's sort of come full circle, using the painting as a vessel, and it soaks into every area of my life now. It's not very much of a conversation that goes past without talking about artwork and painting and creative side of things, and it's taken me to a place now where I've realised that the value that I'm getting and the values that I have now, I would like to turn into something that I can give to other people, a career. But I want to inspire people. So I'm looking for ways to do that. And art is in this area of painting and showing people art and helping with that. That's a big way to do it. So I just want to inspire people, and this is what I do now. I look for ways to help and inspire and turn people's heads towards what they want to do.
Wow.
Is that the sort of thing that you're after? Because that's I can't express it properly and fully in the English language. I don't know.
No, that's true.
But if you can get the vibe of it, because I think when you go to the shops and stuff, and you know when someone's into it and when someone's not into it, when they're serving you, when they're not, don't want to serve you.
Not enjoying.
Your barrister's a real, not barrister, your barista is a real sort of case. You go up there and you get ignored or engaged
not
with.
enjoying it.
Yeah, not enjoying it. So as an example, but I know that when I'm talking to someone, it's I feel like it oozes out a little bit.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Those of you that are watching on, how much you sort of reading between the lines. I think more specifically, I'm thinking some people will be like, oh, so you're saying if I paint, my life will change? I'm like, well, yeah, actually, yes, but it's about engage. Sorry, I should say no, it won't, unless you want to take that journey and you want to take it in a bit of a deeper way. Yeah, you can just throw some paint on a canvas and be done with it and have a bit of fun with it. But I think the style that I've been teaching that you now are passionate about is slowing down, using the photorealistic painting style to help you just have wins and then grow and then change. I mean, I've changed so much over my time and used painting to help me with my mental health and have come from some horrible stuff as well, and it for me it's just, listening to your story and hearing that how important it's been for your life to change to be now where you are. It actually has been the painting, and the result of the painting has been, you've made better choices or changed the way that you are. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So you want?
Yeah, I've got something else.
Great. This
is sort of more on a different level, but using the painting. When you're painting, they say it's very meditative and that sort of stuff. And this is where my interest is a lot. Is that when you're doing some painting, you're stopping the momentum of all your thoughts that you've got going on. And it's a pretty powerful thing. And we were just talking early on about how much of the time you don't want the figures are out of control. 50,000 thoughts for the day, and 49,000 of those thoughts are on the past. They're used up. With painting, you're stopping the momentum, or any sort of creation that you're doing. It could be in music, and you might be in writing, or it could be whatever you're doing there in the garden. You're stopping the momentum of your thoughts. And if you've put up a lot of momentum in the wrong direction, and some horrible thoughts, painting sort of stops that, and now you're creating going forward. And going on those figures I talked about before, that's only 1,000 thoughts a day, a half an hour of your whole day is good stuff. So it's pretty sad when you think about it, but it's your choice whether what you think of and what direction that you're going on. So the painting, when you're doing some painting, and you enter that zone where now you're in that half an hour, and you can make that last as long as you want. So if you know what I mean, no one wants to. I can stay for 4 hours. The average person's doing half an hour thinking of the future. Oh, I've just done 4 hours thinking of this creation. Come on, you got the balance is now in your favour. It's not in the past. And there's no flavour back there.
So that's interesting. So when you're painting, because I often think, well, why do I feel so good at the end of this, or even in the middle of it? It's probably because lots of reasons, but you're having to think. You've never done that stroke before, you're saying. Never. You've never had to think about mixing that and putting that right in there. So you're actually doing positive thinking. So you're adding to that half an hour or however many seconds it was in your life.
Yeah.
So then that builds, and that's very cool.
Yeah, when you start looking at it like that, it's amazing, because if we're a product of our thoughts, which we are, right?
Yeah.
Just have a think about it. If we're a product of our thoughts, And we've got 49,000 of them thinking about the used stuff that's already been thought of.
Things
and all
we're
that
worrying
sort of stuff.
about.
We're worrying,
all that.
You know, all the things that we've got going on in our life and all that sort of stuff. We're bringing those thoughts into now. We're bringing that future or that past into now. And this is a little bit sort of Dr. Joe Dispenza stuff, but that's exactly what's happening. So when you're painting, you get, or when you're engaged in this painting process, now you're tipping the balance in your favour. Yeah. And you're creating whatever you want to create. Whatever's going. That's why you feel so good when you paint, don't you? I mean, absolutely. When you're creating, look at the kids painting on a bit of paper or something like that, and see how much fun they're having, you know. And you want some of that. Yeah. And when I saw someone painting and they're getting into it, I want some of that. Yeah. And when you see someone that's enjoying themselves, you think, I want some of that. That's actually my. That's where. That's why we're talking. It's because it's to create that happiness, isn't it? The fun.
Well, we all want to feel happy in our lives. Like, we don't want stress. We want to get away from that. And that's probably, like, you come into class a lot now and see, you know, the students. We have like 50 or so students a week, and, you know, you ask around the class, are you in here to, you know, de-stress? And like, yes, this is amazing. This helps me de-stress. This helps me in my life. You know, I have people who, there's so many stories of people, why they've come, you know, just come out of chemo, or someone in their family's died, or they just can't, they've got such a high stress job that they need something to stop them. There's so many great stories, isn't there? Amazing.
I haven't got a painting going at the moment, but I've been coming in here and just walking around the class and speaking to everyone, and you know, there is a lot of doubt from the students when they first start, and it's sort of I don't know whether it's a coaxing or something like that. It's like, you know, get up on the horse, or it's just like, you can do it like that. I'll sort of jump in with me. Jump in with both feet and go, I'm going to give it a crack, you know. What's the worst thing that can happen here? Well, just paint over it.
Paint over it, yeah.
You know,
exactly.
That's the worst thing that's going to happen. There's no one judging you.
No.
Matter of fact, it's quite the opposite. You're going to get so much encouragement, and you're going to get shown. You got a teacher. You got one lady. Vicky, I hope she doesn't mind me saying, she went overseas. She came in here and she goes, it's so hard to find the time, and so hard to learn.
Yeah, that's right.
Like this. And I said to her, it's easy. I said, it's harder not to do it.
Yeah.
You know, if it's like anything that you're maybe trying to give up something, you know, you maybe just, I'm going to use smoking. It's a horrible thing as an example. I used to be a smoker. It's harder to keep smoking. It's easier to give up. Yeah, because, you know, if you know what I mean, it's harder. You keep on putting these barriers in front of you. I'm not going to do this. I can't do that, and it's just wearing you down. I can't paint. I want to paint, but I can't paint. It's hard to keep that up. Yeah. It's easier to go and learn how to paint. It's easier. Yeah. And wow, what a difference it can make. Yeah, everybody go and learn something. Go and learn how to paint. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
Yeah, we're big advocates here, people. But it's true. I mean, I could tell you a million stories myself about how it's helped my life. It's why I am teaching it, because I've seen how powerful it's changed my life. So I'm loving hearing your story, Andy. And like I said before, I had a few tears as Andy just said something like, I can't remember what you said, but it just hit me. It was about it being life-changing, and without, you're saying you want to give back because this place is given to you, and that leads me to the next part of your story. Hey, in just in the last week, like, Andy's done quite a number of paintings now. I don't know, 5 or 6 or so.
Closer to 10, actually.
Okay, 10 paintings. 10 paintings, and he's sold a number of them. In fact, he's selling more than I am in the gallery now, which I'm sort of happy about. But at the same time, I'm like, I need to sell some too. Yeah. No, I love it. That gives me a real buzz. And now he's on the front wall of the gallery and in the window. Yeah. Just had a really interesting week here. Andy's had an incredible time. Anyway, he's going to tell you a bit about this story. We've told you where he began. It feels like you've come to a bit of a moment in time with your work. So let's hear this.
It's been a long time since I've felt this good. And last night...
Great. Can we just stop there for a minute and celebrate a moment in our life where we feel good? Because sometimes that is hard to remember. Yeah,
it's so good. It's hard to remember. And this is all art. And I was saying to a friend of mine yesterday, I says, mate, you've made this happen. He's going, no, you've made this happen. We're sort of, yeah, you're good. No, yeah, you're better. You're better, like this, backwards and forwards. But one of the guys at work found out that I was into painting.
Yeah.
Wanted me to show him some of his paintings. And then he's just, it's blowing him away. And he's gone, I can't believe that someone I know does paint. Because I get it. It's a funny thing, actually, when people, I show someone some of my paintings and they go, did you do these? I'm going, well, yeah, I think. One guy actually said to me, I didn't want you to show me some stuff that you pulled off the internet. I wanted to show you some of your paintings, you know. And it's
wow, compliment, I suppose.
Yeah, one of those backhanded compliments. But anyway, this guy's found out that I do some paintings, and this is a wonderful story. And this is where it's come to the pinnacle.
Yeah.
And this is when I decided that Heather, I've had such a good experience with what's just happened. And it's all been because of this place here. This has been like the soil for it all. I wanted to tell my story about it, and this is what we're doing here today.
That's why we're doing it, yeah.
And if you can get a little bit of something out of it, a little bit of, come and do some painting, come and try painting, you know, come and do this.
Yeah.
This is what I'm here for. I just want to inspire everyone to go and do something. So he said, look, I've got my wife's into painting, and she does her own artwork. And I can't speak to her. I'm useless. You can't draw a stick figure, you know, the old story. But would you be interested in doing a portrait of her? And I can give it to her as from me speaking in her language. And I went, reluctantly doing commission. I've gone, yeah, that sounds really good because it's from the heart.
The story you like,
I just love the story. I mean, yeah, I can have a crack at that. And I was looking for something to paint anyway. And the other one that I was painting at the time quickly went into the background. And I said, yes, I'll do this. And he wants to surprise it. And I thought the first conversation I had with this guy, Dan, I don't want us to say this guy because he's a cool cat. And I said, I just rang him up and we spoke for about an hour and a half. And it was about all sorts of things, and it was, all the stuff started to come out, and it sort of opened the door. And so I started doing this painting, and I fell in love with the painting.
And it was a painting of his
wife. Yeah, it was a painting of his wife. It was a portrait. I've never done a portrait before. It was a portrait of his wife that he was going to give to her as a surprise. And even the way that even came about was so good. And I thought, this guy's got a heart.
Yeah.
If he's thinking of speaking to his wife in the language that she's going to appreciate more than anything else, I thought that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know? And to me to be able to do that for him, that's even cooler. You know. So, but it gets even cooler because what he wanted to do was then have it up here in the gallery because she's into art, and say, let's go for a journey in the Dandenongs.
Yeah. And
go and see this guy that I know that's got involved in the gallery up there, and we'll have a look around the gallery. And she's gone, oh yeah, okay, not knowing that there's going to be a portrait of her hanging in the gallery.
So put the portrait that Andy did in the gallery as a surprise. Yeah.
So I started doing the portrait, and I fell in love with it, and I just kept on doing it until I was sort of happy with it. And I couldn't quite there's your doubts, that's not quite right. And with a portrait, it's a little bit more particular. I've only done one, so I'm no expert. You've got
to get it right to look like them.
It's got to look like them. And so when it came time to sort of showing him, mind you, I've been looking at it every day, and I've been painting with it every day. But I've just given everything that I can creatively into this painting, and I just loved it. I loved it, and all I want to do now is just do portraits. That's how it's very much. So. When I took it to him, thinking just to show him that there was some sort of a resemblance
to make sure.
Oh, sure, that it looks like her. So when she comes into the gallery and looks at it, she recognises herself instead of going, oh, nice painting, but then carries on. I wanted her to look at the painting and know that it was her. Yeah. So, and I haven't met his family. You know, I've only just met Dan, and just because of what he was telling me, how much of a big heart he has. So I said, look, I've got this painting ready, and I'm just dying to show him, so I might have to do some adjustments, you know. Yeah. And so we went and had a coffee, and the coffee went for a little bit of a while. Dan likes having a nice chat. And so we're having a chat, and I said, look, I've got the painting, I'd like to, he goes, what now? I said, yeah, let's go out to the car park. And so I open up the the boot, and then I pulled out the painting and I showed him, and he had a tear in his eye, and he came over and gave me a hug. Right. Well, I put the painting down first before he gave me a hug. You know, it's still kind of wet, and but he's gone just from that reaction. And I said, "Oh, do you think she'll recognise that?" And he goes, "Oh, mate, you know, it's unbelievable." And he was sort of speechless. And for me, in my mind in the morning, I thought, if I got a hug out of this guy, I've done my job, you know. And he came and gave me a hug, and I thought, okay, my job's done. And it was really quite good. And I said, look, I really don't want to give the painting back to you. I like it so much. And he goes, well, I know that I've got the right artist doing it, if that's the case, because there's so much love going into it.
Yeah. So your friend was just overjoyed or over the moon about it, and then what happened after that?
Oh, it's a weird thing, because there's certainly some apprehension on my part. You know, you've done all this work and put all this sort of time and love and enjoyment into it, and it's like you're presenting something, and now it's up for sort of judgment, and it's his wife, and it's picturing you thinking, you know, you're thinking, what's he got? Is he going to like this, or is he going to sort of go, oh, that's nice, and you think, what have I done? But he was just, you know, he couldn't explain how happy he was. He decided that he's going to put the painting up in the gallery. So I'd asked you whether I could do that, just pop it up in the gallery somewhere. And he was going to bring his wife, who's into the galleries and that sort of stuff, and his kids up. The kids sort of knew that it was going to be a surprise. Bring them up to the gallery, put up in the gallery. She's going to be walking around, and then she's going to be on the wall. And
what a great idea.
Fantastic idea, especially her being an artist herself. Also, from my point of view, I was thinking, well, what happens if she just looks at it and then just carries on to the next painting?
Don't know who that is.
Yeah, who is that? You know, who is that? So, you know, when you see your passport photo or something like that, you think, who the hell is that? But anyway, so I was pretty excited on the day, and they'd come to the lookout at Dandenong, and I saw them in the car park, and I was all excited. I was up here early, and we hung the picture in the gallery, and it sort of looked pretty cool. And I saw them over in the. I met them in the car park and said g'day, and they came across, and we were walking around there, and we're sort of waiting for the surprise.
I was watching, and you're like so nervous. You're like, oh, is she going to notice?
It's really exciting, you know. I'm sort of thinking, when's she going to? Because she's looking at all the paintings going around. I'm thinking, when's she going to come? Because it was around the corner in one of the other rooms, and it was just kind of cool. And she walks around the corner and then looks up at it, and then sort of looked away. I thought, oh, she doesn't even recognise it. And then she looks back at it again, and then it was like everything just sort of happened. And she goes, is this my surprise? And then since then, a lady came through at the same time and looked at the painting and looked at it, and she goes, is that you? Is that you there? And then you know, it was just it was a really exciting time, and you know, there was hugs all around, and they lingered for the afternoon. I had some lunch and with the family, and the talk went from the painting to their painting and that sort of stuff. But it was a culmination and the sort of the perfect one of all my art that I've done at here with Heather in the gallery here at Kapi. You know, I've gone from just coming in here and having a painting class to now doing a portrait for someone and having them come into the gallery and have that experience. It's like a full experience, the whole thing from start to finish. And now there's a bit of a void, because it's I'm going, well, what can I do? I've just had my favourite meal. You know, everything after that's going to be not going to taste the same. You know. I don't know how to explain it, but there is a void there. You know, when you finish a painting, and I suppose anyone, if you're, you know, at home, if you're a guy and you've just built a deck, you know, and you're just proud of the deck that you've just built, and then there's a sort of a void. You know, you've finished. What am I going to do now? You know, so that also opens the doors to all the opportunities to do things, and it's pretty. If you don't know my story, it's a bit relevant at the moment. I won't talk about that, but it opens the door to you. I can go and paint whatever I want to paint, I want to be searching definitely for something with that same experience, whether I'm going to get it, because the experience that I had with that family, just a beautiful family. I can't see that being beaten, you know. And to go home, and they said, hook us up on Facebook, and I hooked them up on Facebook. And as soon as I saw Cher's Facebook page, and it had that portrait on her front page, and then all these comments underneath it, I thought, wow, that's really, really cool. So I've never had that experience in my life. I've never had that experience in my life. And if you want to have some sort of fulfillment, you know, I suppose, totally, absolutely full with that whole experience, and very, very grateful that who I gave it to was receptive like that too, because you can imagine. You're like, you know, you've just built yourself the best. The best bit of made yourself the best cup that you've ever made in your life out of clay, and it's the best thing, and you're so proud of it, you know, and then you give it to someone and they don't even like cups, you know, and they just go, oh yeah, thanks, you know, and they just put it on the sideboard. It's a disappointment. It's not your effort, it's the way it's been received, and the way that I had that picture or painting received couldn't have been any better. Just could not have been better. But I've been so this whole experience with the painting is just it's grown legs, and it's way beyond anything that I've ever done. Even the first painting was beyond what I thought, and this just keeps on growing. So
incredible. Look, I know we're not going to go into. You've just been through a bit of a challenging time, you know, even since then. I just think, you know, with these moments happen. You know, whatever you believe in, Creator, God, universe, whatever. You know, I think there's something there that is like, I'm just going to set you up because there's something coming. You just need to know your value. You need to know that you are incredible, and you know, I just think that was incredible timing. You know, it was last weekend, was it? No, the weekend. Yeah, last weekend. Yeah. And to be reminded that, you know, you are valued. And I think a lot of us, and including people we're watching, we were talking about imposter syndrome. You know, you're like, you do something that's really amazing and beautiful, and you're really proud of it. But you're like, oh, but maybe I shouldn't say it. Maybe I shouldn't be so proud or be so excited. But I think we've got to celebrate each other, and I want to celebrate you and what you've been through and what I've seen you embrace, you know, and I really feel like, you know, this past time that you've just gone through, that, you know, you've got your art now. That's something you have got. And I always say about my paintings, I'm like, and I've been through SHIT too, and it's like, I can go back to the canvas and it's still going to be there. It's the one thing that's going to be there. Yeah. I don't know. Respond to that.
Yeah, I think it's like this, coming into last week and getting this big high and this big pump from my artwork and the experience with Dan and Cher. It's put me on a real high, and then I've had a rug pulled out from underneath me, and the fall hasn't been that far.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, not as far as it could have been.
Yeah. Because you know, I'm on a higher platform, so and one of the lessons, and this is quite a good one, I think, is that doing the painting is you doing the painting, doing whatever you're creating, whatever you're doing, and however, whether it's you in your job or you in a relationship, you have control over how you are in that relationship, how it's received, and how if someone pulls the rug out from you for whatever reason, or someone doesn't like that bit of artwork, or that's out of your control, and you can't be giving your worth over to that. So what I'm saying is that you look at your painting and what you're doing and how it's, don't compare it to someone else. Don't do that at all. That's just a thief of all the joy that you're going to be getting out of doing your painting and your artwork. So the focus is on how much joy you're getting out of it, and the rest, everyone else can go hang. You know, they can. Go, you know, rack off. You know, oh, you like it? Oh, that's good. Who gives a rat's? You know. I don't want to say that. You know, you want to have some praise, and you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Totally.
It's your enjoyment, and you know, talent. Just and you you squeeze every little bit of enjoyment out of that you can.
I have tears. You can't quite see it through my glasses right now. Because this is why this place, and we're in the gallery, it's out here, and this is the studio, why I created it. And I created it out of pain, things that happened. I'm like, but to hear you say that, you have had what do you say, fall or a drop, but it wasn't as far as you thought.
Yeah, and it's pretty, look, to be honest, it's a pretty big rug pull.
Yeah.
So to be honest, yeah, but and it could be. It could be sort of pretty,
at a different time in your life.
Yeah.
It could have been.
Yeah, it could have been a different time.
Really devastating.
So it's lifting us up, and I think I'm all a little bit about it, lifting up that sort of vibe that you have, for whatever you believe in. Mine's in sort of the more spiritual. Just get a little bit, lifting up to a real higher place, getting into a higher place, reaching for something a little bit better all the time.
Absolutely. Yeah. And everyone in this space here, Andy comes in here, sorry, this will be, he just hold your head. But he comes into this space, and everyone he talks to, and it's because you've been through some challenging stuff, everyone he talks to, he encourages and builds them up and reminds them of the positiveness in their life. And I've still got the tears in my eyes, I am so overjoyed at your journey. And that now, hopefully you can use this video in what you're going to be doing in the future, because you're going to be coaching people and encouraging people in their life. And I was just saying before, these hard times are going to be really helpful for others to go, oh, he's been there. But wow, look how positive he is and how he's managing his life. I know it's been tough. You've
it's
had
kind of
plenty
crazy
of
when I
tears.
think about it. What am I smiling at? Why am I so chirpy?
You are a positive influence, and I think that's really lovely.
Yeah, it's a choice.
Yeah.
And going back, I probably said it earlier on. Does this make me feel better? Or does this make me feel worse? It's your choice.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's pretty hard because you got a lot of stuff, like we said earlier on. There's a lot of stuff saying, look at this. You got the news and you got all those sorts of bits and pieces like that. You can pay attention, but look, it's not reality. Reality is what you're making. So you choose. Don't want to get woo woo about it. But
no. Yeah.
You choose how you want to feel.
Yeah.
You don't have to have. You don't have to watch the news.
No.
You don't have to buy.
No, just go and paint.
Yeah, just go
and paint.
Just go and paint. Find something that you love. Yeah.
That's the answers to all the world's problems. Go and paint.
Yeah. So I don't know whether this is a wrap up, but thank you very much for the opportunity, Heather, and Kapi Art Space, and anyone that's sort of been involved and come in through these doors. I'd love coming in and just sort of watching everyone paint and asking them about what they're painting, and all sorts of stuff comes out, and it's all just really cool feeling stuff. When you walk in here, it's such a good, nice environment and place, and everyone says the same thing. Oh, this is nice out here. Oh, yeah, this is why I'm here. Because you go and find somewhere that you want to be. You don't have to be somewhere you don't want to be. Go and find somewhere that you want to be, and
be encouraged.
Yeah, for me, coming in here is a really nice, safe, comfortable, creative, enjoying place. Get yourself painting.
Cool, that's good. Thank you. There's a bit of a plug there. And I think I've got one more question to ask you before we finish, but just for those of you that have enjoyed this story, and I'm sort of hesitating to say this because I don't like promoting things, but I'm learning that I need to, because people need it and they want it.
You're promoting something pretty good.
Yeah,
why wouldn't you?
I know.
Have some of this.
But there'll be links below to sign up to weekly content from me with lots of really interesting things that you will have probably seen through this link maybe. But also the water drop that Andy did, I'm converting to an online version so that anyone around the world can actually experience what Andy did. It's me coaching you the whole way, and there'll be lots of other things that you can engage with in the future. And also, if you stay in touch with Andy, we'll try and put a link down below to his Facebook or something. He's available to before too long to be doing some coaching and really encouraging you on your journey too. So let's support each other.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that. Yeah, I'm looking to. I just want to inspire people. That's what I want to do.
Yeah. So the last question I wanted to say was, there'll be people watching. They'll be like, "Yeah, Andy, he already knew how to draw. He already had positive, you know, is really positive and knew how to draw. There'll be people like, I don't know how to draw. Life is not good at all, and I don't even know where to start, or I don't really care. I can't do it. What would you say to people who say, I just can't do it? No, I don't think I can.
It's probably the most common thing. When someone comes around to see me painting,
because Andy usually paints in the back room here while other students are here, and when the gallery's open, they come in and they come over to him and they go, "Wow, this is amazing! I could never do that.
Yeah.
I can't even."
Yeah, I can't draw a stick
figure. We've heard that a million times.
It sort of goes like this, and I don't want to belittle anyone, so I don't think, but this is pretty common. I can't even draw a stick figure. I stopped at school. I loved it when I was at school, but then I'll do it when I've got more time. It's like those, and I'm never that good. And you must have learnt. You got your gift from somewhere. No. If Mum's watching, probably thanks, Mum. But it comes from your desire. It doesn't. Just start. Just start. Actually, I sat down having a coffee with someone yesterday, and normally, if I'm sitting with someone, or sitting by myself having coffee, I've got a notepad or something. I might start drawing what's around me. And he goes, "Well, really?" I said, "Yeah." And he says, "What would you draw?" And I had just the newspaper in front of me. So I said, he said, "How do you start?" And I went, "Okay." So I just grabbed a pen. It was just on a newspaper. Yeah. So it's nothing special. Just grab a pen, a pencil. I've got so many pencils at home, and all I need is a bit of A4 paper and a pencil, and I don't know what the cost of that is, and I go into Happy Land. Yeah. It's not expensive. Yeah. A tube of paint, let's just say it's $15 for a tube of oil paint. How many hours of fun are you going to have out of that? Yeah. That's not expensive. No. It's such a cheap investment. It's just hours and hours and hours. Yeah. So how do I start? I've got a pencil, I've got a bit of paper, and I had a newspaper at the time and a pen, an old biro. And he goes, "How do you start?" And I said, "Well, you see that butcher over there? Draw that line there. Okay, that's the start. Now, that line comes off there." So I just started. So just start. I came along and I didn't know how to paint. Find someone that can show you how to paint. Yeah. Can anyone show you to paint? Can anyone learn to paint? Yes, definitely. And you're gonna knock your socks off with what you can do. Because whatever you've got in your head, sometimes what I've got in my head isn't coming out on the paper. Yeah. Sometimes what's in my head is this way better on paper. You got to think of it that way too. Yeah. And I'll guarantee it that once you start doing a little bit of painting, get shown, someone shows you how to do it. Yeah. You
look
a
bit around, of guidance, just a little guidance.
And Heather's guidance isn't, you must do this and you must do that. It's like, maybe it could be a bit darker. It's that sort of thing. A little bit of a nudge, and that's a terrific way to teach. You're still doing your painting. Yeah. But have a look at it this way, and you go, "Oh, wow." And every time that you're doing it wrong, you're learning how to do it right. Just remember that. What you don't like shows you what you do like. Yeah. And with paint, if you put on something that you don't like, it's not there forever. Yeah.
You can get rid of it.
You can get rid of it and change it until something that you do like. Yeah. Come on. Get in there.
I love it. It's So
start.
Thank you. Just start. Just start. I love that. Just get a pencil and a newspaper. Yeah. Just start somewhere. But we're here to help you get started. If you want to go down that track, there's some links below to have a look at that. But Andy, thank you so much. The stories, we've seen people come in, and I'll put up a few images here of some of their paintings where they've said that they can only draw a stick figure, and then they've gone on to paint things that are crazy. So no excuse, basically.
No excuse.
No excuse. We're here to help, but no excuse.
You'll certainly surprise yourself.
Yeah, everyone can do it, and you'll find the people that don't do it are the people that absolutely convince themselves that they just can't do it, like they haven't actually been able to get over that block. But you can. You totally can. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you, Andy.
No, you're welcome. Thanks. It was a pleasure to do this.
A delight. And I just write a comment below. I'd love to be able to share with Andy some of the comments that you might put about his story and how inspiring his just determination to keep going through the challenges and using creativity. So we're all about that, and we know no sort of fluffing it here. Creativity is healing. It's so helpful for our life, and we all need a bit of calmness, and it's the best thing, eh?
It is the best thing. Pretty cool.
Until next time, thanks for watching, and thanks, Andy.
Bye. See ya.